All right, now it's time for our Pinpoint Weather 12 forecast. Another nice day here in southern New England, and then the contrast of what's happening on radar behind you, Brittany.
Yeah, it's a stark contrast between the two. Bright blue skies, a couple of scattered clouds for our area. Meanwhile, as soon as you hit about the North Carolina area, solid cloud coverage and then just deteriorating conditions as you head further to the south, heading towards Florida, where we are tracking what is right now Tropical Storm Ian. And I say right now because it is expected to change. It was a Category 4 hurricane when it made landfall yesterday on the west coast of Florida. Overnight last night, it continued to kind of fall apart, and then as of this morning, it's down to tropical storm status. But as it moves further out over water, there is the potential for it to reorganize and strengthen back into a Category 1 hurricane before making another landfall in South Carolina. But here back home, it is beautiful. It is very quiet and comfortable out there. We dropped down into the 40s and 50s overnight last night. Right now, everybody back up into the 60s. We are in the green for the rest of today and tomorrow as we track some beautiful high pressure just camped out over our region. However, by about Saturday, that high pressure starts to weaken and Ian's remnants start to lift up out of the south, moving across our area. Going to be a little bit chilly out there. Temperatures only in the 50s, cloudy, and we're also tracking some rain on the way. Now, not as much in the way of strong wind gusts or anything like that, so we're not expecting any severe weather, but definitely impactful. Here's a look at tropical satellite. Check out all the heavy rain on the north end of this system, but even on the southern edge of this, still no jokes. It's got some pretty strong wind speeds. Right now, 70-mile-per-hour sustained wind speeds, gusting even higher. It's moving north-northeast at about 9 miles per hour. It just moved off of Cape Canaveral and is back out over the water. Now that it is dealing with a little bit less friction, it's actually going to speed up, track to the north a little bit quicker, and kind of have that impact for South Carolina later on overnight tonight and into tomorrow. But here's a look at the current wind gusts. Daytona Beach, 60 miles an hour. 40 for Melbourne. Orlando's starting to see some quieter conditions, and I use the term quieter kind of relatively because they're still dealing with 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but at least they're kind of starting to deal with those numbers dropping off. Ian forecast. So yeah, it moves up to the northeast before it takes that turn northwest by about tomorrow morning, still sitting off the South Carolina coast. And remember, potential to reorganize back into a Category 1 hurricane. Really not a huge difference between where it is right now and that Category 1 status. It's only about 4 miles per hour wind speed sustained difference between where it is and where it will be. We have a lot of watches and warnings popping up all the way from Cape Hatteras back down towards West Palm Beach. We have hurricane warnings. That's a new update for South Carolina coastline, and then to the north and the south, Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, dealing with the tropical storm warnings. So big impacts on the way. We're going to be dealing with 2 to 4 feet of storm surge, locally higher totals for South Carolina, Northeast Florida, 48 inches of rain, some spots up to about a foot. Here, we will be dealing with the rain arriving on Saturday. So tomorrow the clouds begin to build in. Saturday the rain arrives. Sunday we start to clear out. Again, that is the remnants of Ian, but really not too much of a severe impact for our area. Just a little bit of some heavy rain next week. We start to dry out. You can head over to our website. That's WPRI.com. We've got that full 7-day forecast. You can check it out anytime you like.
All right, thanks, Brittany.